What is going on again, guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for coming to hang with me in my gym garage, the Nerd Parade Gym Garage. That's 2 parts garage, 1 part gym, and I want to welcome you guys once again to another episode of Let's Lift. We are back on the dreaded leg day, and we are into day 5 of our 8-week program, and I'm going to be going over a couple of tips for the exercises here and some modifications that I'm making for my home gym. Well, welcome again to the channel. I am Nick. This is Nerd Parade. And before we get any further, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button. Also, ring the bell so you get notified of all things Nerd Parade. And we are going to get our lift on today. So first on our docket is the squat. Now, I've already completed my warm-up, and the way I like to warm up is just with the bar doing the exercise. So our first exercise for today is the squat. So I like to just take the bar, warm myself up, do about 15 of the exercise with just the simple weight of the bar, and just get the blood flowing to the muscles. Don't go crazy, don't exhaust yourself before you actually do the exercise with your warm-up, but definitely get the blood flowing to the muscles before you start. Now, if you've watched any of the previous Let's Lift episodes, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the easy or wavy bar, and mostly because I don't have a lot of space in my gym garage. So I like to use the easy bar whenever I can, just to kind of maximize. And this little tip or trick might come in handy to you guys who are either A, working out in your own home like I am, or B, you're at the gym and the 1 or 2 only leg exercise stations are constantly occupied. I don't know, just hashtag gym drama. It feels like that's always the case. When you go to leg day at the gym and you want to do your exercises, every time you look at the machine, there's somebody in there and you're like, oh crap, I gotta wait. Well, this is going to be a handy way to get your leg exercises done if you go to the gym on your own time, or if you're like me working out in home, like I mentioned, it's a space-saving technique. So I'm going to be doing some squats with the easy bar or the wavy bar, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Now, when it comes to legs, it is, again, I mentioned this in the previous leg tips and tricks video, it's not my favorite exercise or weightlifting day. And the reason why that is because I don't feel like my legs are my strongest muscle. So there's a little bit of a hit in confidence whenever it's like, oh, it's leg day. And 2, and the biggest reason, is that I don't have a lot of flexibility or mobility in my legs. So you may have heard the term, when you're doing your squats, you want to ass to grass, which basically means you take your butt all the way down as low as you could go, aka your ass all the way to the grass, and then go up. My range of motion in my legs, and specifically my knees, is not that great. So I can usually hit about 90 degrees with my legs. This is hand puppetry for 90 degrees. I can usually hit about 90 degrees with my legs, and then after that I have to kind of go up because I start to feel pain. Each person is going to be different. There's no shame in that. As long as you're hitting your quadricep, that is where the glory is at. That's why you're doing the squat, is you're focusing on your quadriceps. If you feel it, you're doing it right. Each and every person is going to be different. They're going to have, some may have less range of mobility, some may have more, but the lower you can go, the generally recognize the better or more efficient the exercise is. You also really work your butt muscles when you're doing the squat as well, if you can take your ass to grass. So what I like to do is place a little confidence bench underneath me when I'm doing an exercise like this, especially the way that I'm going to be doing it. So I mentioned that I'm going to be doing this exercise with the easy bar or the wavy bar. That means I'm not going to have the support of, say, a Smith machine or a power rack you might find in the gym. So I have a catch for myself for the instance of safety, being the bench, which is behind me. So I'm going to do those squats and I'm going to touch my butt to the bench and then come back up. That's going to be my stopping point. That's mostly so, 1, I don't hurt myself, and 2, I don't go so deep that I'm not going to be able to get back up. Okay, so like I mentioned, we're using the easy bar, and you're stuck at the gym. This guy has been occupying the leg lift or the power rack machine for 30 solid minutes, and you want to get your leg workout in. So here is a way that I used to get my leg workouts in while not having to wait for the machine, and I could do it on my own time. So I've got the easy bar here, and I've gone a little bit lower on my average squat rate, which is fine. So I'm just going to maybe up the reps a little bit, but I'm also going to get in a small shoulder exercise here because I'm going to double up. So we're essentially going to do a power clean movement a little bit to get this weight up and behind our back, and then we're going to do our squats. So I like the easy bar because of the wave, and the wave, when we set the squat, when we set the bar on our neck for the squat exercise, it actually kind of fits right where your neck would be, because you want to create a bit of a shelf with your shoulders and your rear deltoids for the weight to rest on, and then you're going to squat down. So we're going to do our clean movement here, our power clean movement. And then we're just going to press it up once. One press, and then down. So see how the bar fits really nice and easy against the back of my neck, essentially? We're going to get in our sort of horse stance, shoulder width apart, and we're going to squat it down. We're going to dismount, essentially, press it up, and bring it down. So since we're not doing a specific restricted squat movement with the safety of a power rack machine, go lower in your weight, something that you can handle for a higher rep range, and focus on proper form, because we don't want to hurt anybody to hurt themselves with this exercise. Squat is a pretty intense exercise, and if done improperly, can really put a lot of strain on your spine. So you don't want to essentially look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, where you got the weight here and you're struggling really hard to put it up. You want to try to keep your spine as straight and neutral position as possible. So you want to keep your your chin up, keep your shoulders, just imagine you're creating a shelf with your arms and your grip, and you want to sit down and get back up. The lower you can go, the better. Remember, ass to grass. But if you don't have the mobility, that's fine. As long as you're doing the exercise and you're doing your best, you're doing something, which is fantastic. So in our previous leg day video, we did an exercise utilizing the unassisted Smith machine. And I showed you a way to keep your spine essentially straight and then extend your legs out in front of you like you'd be sitting in a chair, and then go down as low as you can go with the safety of the rack, and then back up. Today, we're doing something a little bit different because we want to make sure that we show different ways to do different exercises, or different ways to do the same exercise, because we're doing, in this program, each day, essentially chest day, shoulder day, leg day, twice a week, but we're varying the way that the exercises are done so that the muscles, the target muscles, are hit differently twice a week. Now, you've seen me wear my weight belt. It even has my initials on it, so I know that it's mine and I don't lose it. But you've seen me wear my weight belt, and the reason why we wear a weight belt like this is due to an effect that's created with the air in your stomach. As you put this weight belt on, and you essentially create a balloon-like effect with the air in your stomach when you're doing the exercise to press up against your spine to keep your spine in the upright position. This is what the weight belt is primarily designed for. It adds that extra support to your spine by creating the effect of a balloon sort of pushing up against your spine. So the front of your stomach is pushing up against the belt and then into your spine, and then your back is pushed again here. It just creates an extra layer of support, sort of. And I like to use that because, one, I'm working out in my home gym. I don't have one of those handy, like, press the button, help, I've fallen and I can't get up thingies. So if I hurt myself, and I hurt myself bad, I might be screwed. So safety is our #1 priority, and it should be yours as well, whether you're working out at home or in the gym. You want to make sure that you your body remains intact, so tomorrow you can go in and hit it just as hard as you did today. With that being said, it is our body, and we do want to take good care of it. So I always like to err on the side of caution again and take all the necessary safety measures possible, especially when you're feel like you're ready to move up in a weight class or with the weight that you're working with. Take the necessary precautions to be as safe as possible. I worry that this Let's Lift video may sound like a giant public safety announcement, but it is something you should focus on in any type of sport, but bodybuilding very specifically, because hurting yourself is no fun no matter how or where you do it. Another little handy tip on that dreaded leg day is going to be your footwear. Something as simple as a shoe. You'll see me a lot, at 99% of the time when I'm in my gym garage, working out barefoot. And while that tends to be kind of frowned upon in your average gym, it is fantastic for leg day. So basically what that does is your natural arches in your foot are not obstructed or hindered in any way when you're doing your squats. And what that can kind of do, especially when you get heavier and heavier on your weight, is if you're wearing shoes, typically something that has a big arch support or creates a different style of foot placement other than your very flat shoe here. So for example, I'm holding up a Converse All-Star. This would be the ideal leg day footwear. It's a very flat shoe, and if your gym tends to frown upon you taking your shoes off and just doing your squats in your socks, then this is a great alternative. If they don't care that you take off your shoes, or if you're working from home, then that's fantastic. That's the best thing you can do, because it's basically all natural. There's no type of interference with your arch. If you're doing your squats, or you only have a pair of like arch support or running shoes, I would highly suggest just try to kick those suckers off in the gym, do your squats, and then put them back on. You don't want any interference with your arch, because like I mentioned, going heavier on the weight could cause that to be damaging to your spine. So besides your very flat Converse All-Stars, I believe Chucks will probably work as well, as long as it's flat. Skateboarders, if you're a skateboarder or have skateboarded in the past and you still have your skateboarding shoes, those are also very flat. You can do your leg exercises, deadlifts, squats, what have you, in shoes of that nature. Or if you're lucky enough to have your own home setup or a gym garage just like this one, go barefoot. Moving along in our workout, as you might be able to tell from the color changes in my shirt, next on our docket is the leg press. Now, if you're working out in a big gym, you might have a leg press machine, or something that's commonly known as a sled. Usually, most gyms only have one or two of those, so you may have to compete over it like the squat machine. But if you're checking out my gym garage behind me, we don't have anything so nice. So what I'm going to show you is a variation that I use that you might be able to use at the gym if you want to, or if you have your home gym, you'll be able to use it here. The reason why I say you could use it at the gym if you want to is because it may look slightly embarrassing, but it works. So with that prefaced, you're going to see a slightly embarrassing variation of the leg press utilized here with the Smith machine, and I'm going to show you now. It's going to be with monkey feet. Okay, as I'm yelling and waving at you from across my gym garage, whatever this place is called, we are laying on our back in front of the Smith machine, and we're going to take the balls of our feet and our toes, and we're going to place them at shoulder width apart on the bar. Now, the bar positioning is right above my pelvis. So where my hip bones are, if I draw a straight line, you'll see the bar for the Smith machine. And I have it secured right here with the safety stops, and it's unhinged from the hooks. So all I'm going to do is brace myself here on the side, and we're going to press up with my monkey toes. And if things get really scary and you lose control of the weight, which I'm going to show you now, that really loud safety stop protected us from dying. So this is a good alternative to your sled. There we go. I did warn you that it might look slightly embarrassing, so I'm not going to blame you if you don't feel like trying that one at the gym, but with the limited equipment that I have here, it is a good way for me to hit my quadriceps in another way. Well, that is going to complete my workout for today, and I hope you enjoyed these tips on the squat and the leg press, and I hope they're useful to you. From one gamer to another, we're helping gamers everywhere get fit and live a healthy lifestyle. Thank you guys so much for coming to participate in Let's Lift. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also ding the bell so you don't miss anything Nerd Parade related. If you have any questions for me, you can always put them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them to my abilities. Or you could join the Nerd Parade Discord, which is also in the link below me. If you feel like supporting Nerd Parade, supporting the Let's Plays and the Let's Lifts, check out the Nerd Parade Patreon, also in the link. But most importantly of all, guys, remember to stay fit, stay healthy, stay awesome, and we'll catch you in the next instance of Let's Lift. Later.